All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sit and Learn webinars. Thanks for attending. I appreciate everybody showing up. Today, we're going to be talking about video marketing, something that's new, it's fresh. There's a lot of excitement around what's going on with the videos. We still have a couple people showing up, so just take a few moments to get settled in. We have a short presentation today. I'm going to be talking about several different things. Hopefully, I'm going to not bumble around when I try to show some of the YouTube videos that we've done internally, just to give some examples. I've been able to give this presentation to about 4 individual groups in Columbus, and I thought I should share it with people online. So just a few more minutes, and we'll wait a couple of seconds so people can get their software installed and everything. But by a show of hands, can everybody hear me? If you look at your interface when you have signed in, you'll notice that there is a hand-raising mechanism, and we might use that in the near future. So that would be good. Thank you for raising your hands. I'll also want to check, make sure you guys can hear the YouTube videos once we get there. So again, my name is Lucas Shaffer, and you're at the video marketing presentation for Sit and Learn webinar series by Stand and Stretch. All right. Well, as you know, video is becoming a very prevalent place for people to be in the marketplace. Most of the groups that I've spoken to recently have been a part of either a consumer-based marketing platform where they're looking at a large pool of consumers and trying to deliver premium content to those groups of people, mostly trying to gain the connection. Today we're going to be talking a lot about connecting to the consumer using video. So we'll be specializing all the conversations around personality, authority, credibility, talking about strategy and some pro tips. And what do you need to create a video? I know one of the questions we had was that someone wanted us to talk a little bit about, do you need expensive equipment? So we're going to cover that today. So let's get started. And let me find my little note here. All right. Again, there's a picture of me in my Google glasses. Hello, everybody. I own a company called Stand and Stretch. We do interactive marketing, web design, mobile applications, social media, software design and development, advertising, print. You can find out more about us at standandstretch.com. Very cool stuff happening over here. Just give us a call. Come hang out with us. I've got a cool story to tell you. You know, one of the great things about video marketing is you'll notice I have some quotes along the way. You know, I love Forrester Research. They're the guys who do the research that Google pays $10,000 a report for. That Gallup poll seeks to increase depth in their polling because of consumer-based research. So when Forrester reports that the increase for email click-through rates, CTRs, when video is emailed is 200% increase, I know when I send out emails about a video marketing and I share a link, then I can sort of expose myself to 200% more clicks in my campaign. So Forrester's returning that. I trust Forrester, so I might start looking to include video links or video images, and some people might see this as a video that looks like a YouTube video with a little play marker. I've used that tactic several times to draw in people to look at our email campaigns. So a little review about what we're going to do today, the outline. If you have any questions, feel free to comment inside of the questions area. I am monitoring it, that area, so I see a couple people using it already. Thanks, Ken and Kim. Appreciate the usage of the question place. You can also at any time raise your hand, and maybe I'll get to see it. And if you have any questions, we can take them on as they come. So the outline today, we're going to give a quick intro. That's kind of what I'm doing now. We'll talk about what is video marketing. I want to talk about some stats. You guys have to know that YouTube is an amazing place that people are spending a lot of time. Personal and business examples. So I want to talk about what Stand and Stretch is doing for video, so how you can compare your business to approaching consumer-based marketing, creating a connection to your visitors and the whole thing comes from experiential marketing, where we're no longer looking for flat pieces of paper in the mail, or everybody knows this new open, engaged marketing campaigns are now the new norm. So we'll talk a little bit about how we're using it internally here at Standard Stretch, and then I'll tell you how I'm using it personally, because there's a separation there. And then we'll talk about strategy and pro tips, and a little time for question and answer as we move forward. So don't be shy. So one of the things I want to talk about today was really just the concept of video marketing. In its simplest form, video marketing is the practice of creating a promotional video for product or service and uploading it to the internet. Now you think about this, how many mediums are there to place video right now? You have basically have TV, there are mobile phones, there are computers, desktops. The idea of going to the movie theater, I guess, is a great place for video marketing. How do you find the people and get in front of them is one of the questions you have to answer. So not only do you have to worry about creating excellent content, but you also have to worry about where it's delivered. Some of the most effective methods that we've used for advertising has been our video marketing. The opportunity to have everybody on board today, watching us today, is very great. It's very good for our marketing because you guys are being immersed in some kind of knowledge share that's allowing you to be better and utilize tools. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Creating a buzz around the product is very simple. We're working with a company in Los Angeles that does short-term product design and development, and they would look for maximum exposure in the short amount of time, and we use video. So it's a very cool, effective marketing stance. It's also cost-effective, or can be. I know if you're from Columbus and you're in today's webinar, you know that there's probably a good 3 to 4 to 5 production value businesses that are in town. But honestly, that's not where the most effective campaigns are coming from. We see the large video shots, and I'm watching a couple of the organizations take on aerial photography. The access to these tools are for everyone. The ability to have an HD recording device is set. The level of production isn't as accepted anymore, so we see a lot of low value production getting just as much exposure as the full value. In some cases, what I'm talking about is you might not have to spend any money as opposed to spending some money. The idea of uploading the videos free of charge, so where do you put them? The idea of putting them on Vimeo and YouTube is a very collaborative sense of how do you get things found on the web. Now, we talk about YouTube, and I'll talk about YouTube in a little bit as well, but who owns YouTube right now? We talk about that for 1 second, and then look at what Google's doing over here. So if you're looking at getting found on the internet through search keys, phrases that are popping up, what is your independent services? How are they being found online, and how are they driving traffic to your website? That same scenario is happening on YouTube. And because Google owns YouTube, you have the same type of search characteristics that are showing up in keyword phrasing and the idea of making a title that actually states something that someone would be searching for. So in many cases, how-to videos are great for professional services. Driving awareness to promotions. There's a lot of rich information available out there that you can sort of pitch your story. I know we've done 2 internal videos that sort of tell our story, and if you go back and you kind of put them from front to back, they sort of tell the very simple stages of being an early stage company, not really identifying with one particular market, to the past year and a half to being a well-defined machine that is targeting online marketing as a whole. It's not even just small business, but large business, national business, and brands as a total. But the biggest thing is for us, it's about making the human connection. Video marketing allows you to be yourself. You can't be in a pre-formatted scenario. One of the things, when I watch a commercial and I feel like that commercial took 17 takes and they rewrote the script 3 times that they were in there, there's something unoriginal about that. When you get the mistakes and you're watching a video and you get that crack, that smile, that little crack smile when somebody knows that they might not have said something just right, the realism, the connection, there's a behavioral mechanism that stands behind that says, I understand that this person is a human being and not a scripted robot machine. So, the human connection is going to make more deals in the end than a blasted, structured production. The idea, everything, I just, finished up teaching the first class at continuing education at CSU, and I'll tell you that the one biggest piece of value that everybody came away from that class, and it ties directly into the human connection, is how do you take online connections, the people that you meet that are on your Facebook page, the people who follow you on Twitter, the people who are looking at your YouTube videos, how do you bring those people from likes to handshakes, from subscribes to handshakes, from follows to handshakes? The biggest value that I think I can drive into today is how do you bridge the gap between somebody knowing a little bit more about who you are and why they should do business with you. So hopefully we can use that as a template structured theme for today. I kind of went down to best uses there, but if you look up in the top corner, ComScore, another huge stat giant, 45.4% of internet users viewed at least one video a month. So this is kind of in that zone of what everybody's doing, what are the trends, and so at some point ComScore has a great value to add to telling us what's happening on the internet. So at least one video a month by almost half of all internet users. So very cool. So diving right in, I'll let you kind of glance at some of these, and I just want to tell you, I wrote a blog post on standandstretch.com that talked about the Gangnam Style. Psy, a performer, I guess, a musical performer, made a video about a dance style. It's very, very viral, and it reached 1 billion views. It was the 5th video to reach 1 billion views. You think about this for a second, and say, wow, 1 billion views, what does that mean? So I took it one step further, and I wrote a great blog post, and I can share it with you guys. The idea of 1 billion views of something that lasts 4 minutes and 13 seconds. So I did the math. I pulled out the calculator, and I punched in 1 and a bunch of zeros times the seconds that were in the 4 minutes and 13 seconds. I got this astronomical number, huge number. So I started dividing it up. How many months? How many seconds? How many minutes? How many hours? How many days? How many months? And how many years? Did you know that if you lined up all billion views, lined them up from the start to play, and you played them from start to finish and lined them up in one line, it was over 8,000 years of video. Now, you think about that number and you go, holy smokes, because the idea that it takes one person to watch 1 billion Gangnam Style video views, and you line them up, it takes 8,000 years for them to watch all billion views. Now, I don't know if it's me, I probably still can't do the dance after that. So that's something to consider. All right, so here we're looking at the stats for just online marketing. I got a couple of these. I just want to skim right through them. Senior marketing executives are now using online video content in their marketing programs. That's just consistent. Video has now become a very, if not video, then what we call motion graphics have become a very integral part of putting together the ideas behind marketing campaigns. Over 1 billion unique users visit YouTube every month. It's a ton of people. People are most likely to engage with branding content on social media that contain pictures and videos. That's good. 1 in 5 Twitter users discovering videos each day from tweeted links. You guys using Vine out there? Vine was bought by Twitter as the video component for a lot of what's going on out there in mobile device land. Video results have appeared in almost 70% of top 100 searches. So let's just say for 2 seconds that you're a lawn service company and you having trouble getting to the top because national advertisement is soaking in the first three, and you have some competitors who've been out there a little longer. They have, that you've done some work on your website and you're trying your best, but you just haven't made it to the front page. Well, imagine creating a video that's how to prepare your lawn for the winter weather. This is a very common statement that people might Google out there. So you do a video, short 30-second video of how you prep and put down the winter secret into the lawn, and watch how that type of SEO, search engine optimization, that type of search strategy can build your video to drive traffic, to connect you to customers. So that's very good, something to think about when you're putting together your marketing campaigns. The choice of getting a page one listing on Google increases 53 times with video. Anybody want to guess? It's because Google owns YouTube, right? So the idea of having the YouTube video on your website is a factor in getting better Google search engine results. So just kind of passing through these, and I want to kind of get these in to your head. So when we talk about some of the things why they make sense, why we do what we do, 46% of people said they'd be more likely to seek out information after seeing a video. Well, that makes sense to me. One of the biggest things me and my wife have, we go through, at least once a month. Where are we going to go have dinner? Oh, I've heard of this new great place downtown, or in wherever in Columbus. And the biggest problem we have is I don't know. Is it too lit in the interior? Because I kind of like dim places. I like to hide. Shameful eating. I like to hide in the dark while I'm eating. Just kidding. But the idea, I'd like to know places. That's why I continue to go places I like, because of the atmosphere. Well, if I had a video that was showing off some of the atmosphere of some of the places I didn't know, I'd be more inclined to go there. Does that make sense? 80% of internet users who watch a video ad, almost half took some sort of action after viewing it. Very, very cool. Video is very actionable. The average user spends 88% more time on the website with video. I like that. We have video on just about every page at standandstretch.com, where that video that we have on our page is actually been viewed almost 700 or 800 times, and you multiply that times how many minutes that is, and we string it out, and that's ancillary marketing and approaches of multiple weeks if you lie them out. It's nothing like the Gangnam style video, but very, very, very similar. Video is now the 6th most popular content marketing tactic. So even getting into the B2B market, this is a very, very interesting video is very, very interesting as far as getting B2B, which is business to business, not the consumer-based marketing that most of us are familiar with, but marketing to other businesses to do some form of work. 70% of those marketers use some form of online video. Now, video attracts 2 to 3 times as many monthly visitors, and doubles their time spent for organic traffic from search engine. If anybody knows Marketing Sherpa, I can make this presentation available to anyone, and they can go track this down, because I had to read this to make sure that this was actually something that I felt that made sense to me. Marketing Sherpa is one of the most well-known online marketing, digital inbound marketing creative agencies that I know of. I've actually met a couple of the people that work there. They put together a lot of this information. So Marketing Sherpa, with the credibility they have, when they threw this stat out there, I thought it was very important that I would share with you. YouTube users watch more than 3 billion hours of video per month. I don't even want to know what 3 billion hours looks like. I wish this said, Americans, had family dinner at the table more than 3 billion hours per month, because I don't even want to know what's happening and where our productivity as a nation, our productivity as a person, and productivity as a company and marketing. In the case of marketing, we got to go where the attentions are, and it seems like the attention is focused on video. We have Netflix taking over. We have Hulu providing content, and now we're starting to see more creative on-demand instances. TV and marketing scenarios are getting smarter. And then, of course, Forbes up at the top right, 59% of senior execs rather watch video than text. That makes sense to me. So let's talk a little bit about Lucas Shaffer on YouTube.com. I really enjoy trying to communicate with people. One of the things that, who I am, what I like to do. What you see here are some clips from some of the YouTube videos that you could find me talking, me representing myself. If you get a chance to sit down and have a conversation, you'll really get a casual nature. The idea of feeling like you can hang out at Stand and Stretch and not have to be sort of in and out and scheduled and very very non-traditional communication line between us and our customers. The idea of trying to convey this message, how do I get people to connect to that before they get a chance to walk into our office or to meet me out in the public or at a meeting or in some kind of arena. So you can see here that I'm using multiple different ways to promote who Lucas Shaffer is and have a short little video, and I hope it works. So if anybody's out there and can hear it, just raise your hand when I play this YouTube video. And let's see if, can you guys hear that? Can you raise your hand if you can hear it? Nobody's hearing it? Okay. Well, it looks like nobody can hear it. Is everybody still here? Can I get a hand raised if everybody's still here? All right, cool. So you definitely aren't seeing it, right? Or you're seeing it and you're not hearing it probably is the key. Well, that's cool. I was going to try that. I've never tried it in a webinar. So the idea here is what I was trying to convey in this YouTube video is how we sort of talk about the things that we're doing. I go through as far as saying, hey, our business is about this. This is what we're trying to do. If you meet me, this is some things that I might say, or how, in a scenario of trying to just convey the ultimate connection between you and me. If you watch this video, I hope you come away from it and say, wow, that's some cool stuff going on there. I need to find out whether or not I can connect to this business. One of the greatest things that we have in front of us today is the opportunity to be in any market we want to be in. And I've dealt with a few things just in the recent, maybe past 6 months. And it comes down to we ultimately want to work, and we're most successful with people who are drinking our Kool-Aid. Simon Sinek might say that the diffusion theory of innovation is that we at Stand and Stretch are at our tipping point. And if we're going to communicate with a group of people who aren't drinking the Kool-Aid, then we have to really convince the people, the early stage adopters, the very innovative group that understand, that get it, that actually get it. There is the idea that we can use video to convey the messaging to help our customers get it. Just to kind of give you a scenario and try to elaborate on that, if there is the opportunity of someone being less likely for us as a customer, it comes out very quickly. In the very initial stage, there is the looks, the I don't understand why why this is the way it is. And quite frankly, that's part of our marketing. And if you're not on board for the way we think about life and the way that we think about marketing and the way that the big question is why we do what we do. If you're not on board for that and you don't get it, sometimes we might walk away from that contract. We want to make sure that we're successful and the people that work with us do what we do. And I use video to try to convey the why into all those opportunities. So yeah, I'm going to take a second to review a little bit here. The questions. I apologize for the delay. This thing won't allow me to open it up. I see there's a couple of questions in here. So yeah, Kim was addressing, the use of videos in Walmart, just at end caps, so that that is a big deal. And I see some people answering me about the video. Seeing, not hearing. Sorry about that. I now have a tested proof, and you guys had to participate, so I apologize. But here, I even in my presentations, I'm giving away a little bit of who I am. You can see on the right side of this, the top right, you'll notice that is a clip from our Sit and Learn webinar series intro video. So what is Sit and Learn all about? I go through and I make a joke because it looks like I'm talking to someone, but because no one was in the office at that time, I was actually staring at the doorknob across the room. Got to make it work. Fake it till you make it. The idea of this video right here on the bottom right, the strategies and examples, this is from another webinar series. I'm using real-life examples to convey connection using Instagram, and I'm also using it in video. So the cross-promotion here is going all the way through. And, of course, on the left side, you see we're using interactive uses of people, using designs and things that we've created so that we connect, so that we make sure that our customers, our future and current customers, know that we build things that people connect to. And if you get that connection to that person, and you could show it on video about how someone's connecting to your product, to your service, that becomes a very, very strong testimonial, something that can't be written, edited, and then uploaded to a website. The idea of us being able to capture these moments for very, very, very free, I said free, very, very cheap opportunities. So we've had over 28 live web videos and webinars to share and provide relative info. So it's something to consider, and I can share these links in the final production of the video. So I'm going to move on here. So Stand and Stretch on YouTube. So my business. This is my baby. This is the thing. Okay, Lucas, I get it. I'm going to come to you when I need stuff. But what about Stand and Stretch? How does Stand and Stretch get conveyed in the marketplace? How does Stand and Stretch, dive in to marketing themselves using video? Well, you are right now participating in one of our most successful marketing ventures that we've ever done. The Sit and Learn webinar series has really provided us with over 700 opted in, registered, and demographically available and identifiable, very, very target marketed group of people, and allowed us to get them to sit and listen to Lucas harp about things that are important for marketing. This has allowed us a higher level of saturation in the Columbus market. We've even had opportunities where the live webinars have been broadcast in the Small Business Development Center classes, inside of chamber meetings, and I was told that I believe we might have a class that's on right now. If not, maybe it'll be the next one, and we'll be getting with James Coleman over at CSU to try to implement a class for their social media portion of their marketing. And so the idea of Sit and Learn webinar series being our video marketing component is something that you are very well a part of right now. So when we put together things like this, like today's opportunity is talking about video marketing. The idea of going from 400 to 700 people over the course of, I just noticed that, the idea of having us quickly draft, I had over 50 people register for today's webinar. And at the attendance right now, I think I saw at one point there were 14 people that attended. And we look at about a 50% attendance ratio, but the idea of having the registration information means that we can use that as marketing material. So the idea of us being able to accumulate registrations, emails, and also attendance, and having that sort of being a part of our marketing, it really drives traffic for us. If you look here, you can see YouTube page, where if you look at the right column on the YouTube page, you'll notice that we have a lot of other titles here. We have mobile site versus mobile app. What's right for you? Man, that's a big question. I spend almost 30 minutes trying to examine what the differences are between a mobile site and a mobile application. Over on the other side, we have understanding the importance of blogging. Man, that's a big deal. Search engine optimization. These things are grabbing people. These things are being looked at. Email marketing for the holidays, that's coming up. So you can see Stand and Stretch is utilizing video on YouTube to show up in search engine results and drive traffic back to our website. You can also see that there's a cross-pollination into Facebook. Facebook's also been one of our most popular places. It's driven the most traffic for us, but it's given us a larger exposure rate as far as reach into the Columbus market, into the 60 miles around us market. But you'll notice that our cover is currently looks just like what you see here, Sit and Learn Webinars, new series coming soon. And that was put up several months ago, as we've done about 2 webinars since then. The idea of having a link on there that says past webinars, it's fantastic. Goes right to where we want them to go to. They see all of our past webinars, and then they're watching more content. It's as if they were here in the office and I'm talking directly to them because they're curious about what that video states. The YouTube channel is also on our Facebook page, and you can access that. So pretty, when it comes down to video marketing for ourselves, the big question is how do you do it, and is it easy? Okay, Lucas, you convinced me. I get it. Video marketing is something we need to do. How far do we need to go? I work at a professional company that has to have professional production value things. I would have to say that that's not true. The one thing that most corporate America is missing, the one thing that professional services are missing is the human connection. And if we find a way to get that human connection, your customer base will decide that they want to work with you. So there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that come through and make sense. So it has to depend on what kind of strategy you put in place. Are you going after the consumer? Are you going after other businesses? What's the level of professionalism that you can put into it, and also what's the budget? So that kind of leads up to the question that Kim had mentioned earlier on the Facebook page. What's the cost on all of this stuff? So we'll go back and so we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. The use of video on our website. Notice on this page here, we have a video of me talking about TEDx in Columbus, Georgia, and then on the right side we have you see a little video in the sidebar there. That's one of our marketing videos. So it's kind of interesting that this page is an integrated website, and then integrated YouTube in the page itself on top of a form, and then another video on the side. So video everywhere. I think there's probably even a video in the footer, just to try and to get people to connect. They push that play button, and then for 2 minutes I got them. You'll notice on the right side that the video that I have here is also played on YouTube. So this is from a clip from YouTube where we're putting together a task force for TEDx Columbus, Georgia. Very cool stuff. So this is, if you're not putting your videos on your website, it's going to be hard for people to see that sometimes. I use this as YouTube knows that it wants its videos everywhere, so the embed code, the code that you use to place on your website, is readily available. So it's there and available. So what do you need? So you don't need this thing. I don't know what this is. I don't even know if this is actually a camera. It looks more like a golf tool that you would look out across the I don't even know what you call it, the golf course, and say, okay, I got 600 yards to drive this. You don't need that. Most of the video that we've shot has been either from a flip video, which is the old school flip video thing that they don't sell anymore. It's shot at 720p, did just fine. But most of it's done from our DSLR. We have a D3100 here, a Nikon, and it roughly goes for about $500. And I understand that that's expensive when it comes to digital cameras, but most digital cameras now, including my phone, I have a phone now. Unfortunately, the phone without a 2-year contract is probably more expensive than my DSLR, which is ridiculous. I'm looking at my phone now. But the idea of having some type of digital recording device is all around us. pick up your phone. You can shoot a clip from your phone. People are doing it on Instagram video, doing it on Vine. You see these popular sites, showing us that delivery of content is necessary in video. Snapchat even has sort of a hold on a very particular niche. Audio recording devices are important. Most of the times, your phone and your digital camera, your point and click, whatever it might be, that's actually your flip video, has an onboard audio. It just does. Most of them do, and if you find one that doesn't, it's probably from 1992. You can invest in an audio recording device. I've had trouble, and this is where it gets down to the editing part, the software side on the other side, but I've had trouble taking on external audio, even though it was high quality. You downloaded it, and it's just about the same size as a video file, and now you're trying to edit audio and match it up to the video. Very, very peculiar opportunity. I don't mind it, but I don't think it's a skill everybody needs to learn. Getting a onboard audio recording device on your camera, being able to upgrade, that might be an opportunity. When we talk about software, everybody has either a Mac or a PC, right? Yeah, raise your hand. Okay. The idea behind having a PC or a Mac means that you have inherently pieces of software that can allow you to do this very easily. iMovie is for the Mac. It's very, very intuitive. I mean, it probably would take you 5 minutes to put together a clip of videos from your phone and have a first sort of YouTube expression out there. Movie Maker's the same way. I put Audacity on here because Audacity is something we use to edit our podcast. It's free. The idea that I can take Audacity and add in clips, put in a little intro clip that I stole off the web or whatever, and put it all together, and then create one audio track and then set it to video. I love it. It's very simple, and it doesn't eat up a lot of resources. It's very lightweight. Now, you start getting into production value things. You start talking about people who have production things. High level of budgets and money and professionalism that has to be sort of soaked into the video. You have your Adobe After Effects, and then you have Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, these two Adobe-born products are very expensive when bought individually, but the idea that they add a very keen presentation. Most of the videos that come out of here are done in Adobe After Effects. Premiere Pro is really for long-term shooting and has a lot of filters and a lot of different things that can allow you to look more like a film studio. After Effects is built around short-term motion graphics, sort of. You can do extended features in either one of them, but the idea that we see more short-term graphic animated pieces done in After Effects and Premiere Pro, we see a lot of full-featured length films come out of those software packages. So, one of the stats, and I hope I have everybody's attention up there. One of the stats at the top right say you'll lose about 1/3 of your viewers by 30 seconds. So I hope you guys are still with me. The idea of 30 seconds was actually almost 40 minutes ago now, and I can't believe I've been able to stretch this 12-page presentation out this long. So breaking down into one of the last slides here, and again, I appreciate everybody's attendance. If you have any questions, go ahead and just pipe them in there, and I'll take care of them in just a minute. Talk about this. This is where it comes down to it. I've showed you guys a lot of things. I showed you what Stand and Stretch does. I've showed you what Lucas Shaffer does. I've talked about video in the marketplace, how much is being viewed. When it comes down to it, the ultimate strategy that we use independently here is that we're building our personal social capital. Our personal brands are just as important now as our corporate brands. There is a way that you can delegate them, but in the end, everything gets mashed together. You're only what you appear to be to anybody who's searching for you nowadays or knowing something about you ahead of time. Business cards don't say anything about you anymore. I remember, it's all about having the best business card, man. Best business card wins. The idea of having that was tough. You get around building social capital, and it's something that sort of comes from being available on all channels, building happiness into the client experience, building products that provide measurable impact. building social capital is one of the toughest things, and video is one of those ways that you can achieve that goal. The other biggest strategy, and I think the other are sort of just kind of an ancillary, but be authentic and share knowledge. I don't think anything I've said today I wouldn't be afraid to say it again or repeat, in the sense that knowing that somebody's coming to do business with me, I wouldn't try to represent something differently on video than I would if something was true and going on. So creating a recurring series like Sit in My Webinar series, that is something that I recommend all of my clients do. I know it's something that becomes a part of an overall goal, like a 3-year goal, 3-year plan. We look at small businesses coming in and say, what's the first thing you need to do? The first thing, get a website. Bam. How are you marketing that website? Could be year 2, and then doing the ancillary things like video marketing, blogging, podcasting, getting into subscription-based marketing, email marketing to help build the residual database marketing. So also we're diving into interviews. One of the cool things we have going on now is we're working on our new website. There's nothing better than the client telling you themselves that they're having a positive experience. Testimonials written on paper, scanned over, uploaded onto websites, and who knows, that they have a great appeal for those people who look for signatures and can approve signatures. And the idea of looking at pre-edited content that's put onto your page is very, very, I know that I can edit that and make it say whatever I want to, so it's very, very conspicuous. And then I use video to record phone conferences that have online presentations. There's nothing better than finishing up an amazing presentation with a client. We're talking about a report, we're talking about a concept, and then being able to review that later or share internally with the team. Hey, go back and watch that clip, right when that moment, about halfway through, and they go, oh yeah, that's right, bam. And then we're off into a different thing. So phone conferences with online presentations can happen. GoToMeeting is one of the best presentations. Today we're using GoToWebinar. And if you have any relationship with Citrix, whether it be GoToMyPC, GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting, we actually have contracted an annual agreement with them and reduced our cost by 40% for usage of 3 major platforms. So it's very, very simple to do. Okay, so some pro tips: only pay when you have to. Don't spend a lot of money. You don't have to spend a lot of money for major impact. My videos get, Standard Stretch videos get as much views as some of the videos I see done by local video companies. It just depends on where they go. What's the strategy on getting the exposure rate? Are they on websites? Geez, are they on the websites that they're correlated about? Videos can be 30 seconds to 1 hour. YouTube for SEO, Vimeo for presentation. This is, any photographers out there listening to this. This is Vimeo is where you go to put the cool stuff. YouTube's where you go to just put all the clips and stuff. So purchase a low-end device. $99 can get you started with a low-end recorder, and then use iMovie and Movie Maker. So the question always comes up about royalty and copyrighted music. This is the best thing I can give you for a pro tip. If you're using YouTube and you're not selling the end product, so if you're doing this for you, if this video is for you and you're using it and you're posting and you want to post it to YouTube, and that's how you want to disseminate your product, YouTube has royalty and copyright deals with all the major record companies. So if I completely rip off a Goo Goo Dolls song and put it on the background of a video that I made that introduces our team as a cohesive, wonderful creative agency, then YouTube will say, are you aware that you're using a copyrighted music? And I say, yes. And then it says, which one is it? You select that it's the Goo Goo Dolls one, and they got it right with their software, their cool software. And then when your video comes up, they have a little buy link down at the bottom. Buy this Goo Goo Dolls album, or buy the song that's in this video. So they don't care about the copyrighted factor. Now, in the real world, if I make a video for a client and sell them a video that has copyrighted music on it, then I'm liable for infringement on that copyright. But if I'm using it internally, for me, YouTube is very open about their copyright policy. Follow up with it if you have any questions. There's some great music out there. Don't feel like you have to generate your own little beat on your iPad, a little because you don't. But be very aware if you start getting into the video making business and you start selling those videos. As soon as money becomes involved, you start running into those types of copyrighted issues. But YouTube is very good about checking and saying, "Hey, you're using copyrighted music. Did you know that?" And you say, "I acknowledge that I'm using copyrighted music," and then they say, "Okay, well, we're going to put a purchase link for this song on your YouTube page." You go, "Absolutely, more the merrier. I love that band. I hope they sell 3 albums off my video." Okay, and then the final pro tip is all about human connection. So it all derives back down to video allows for those nuances that you would not particularly be a part of if you weren't in the same room. So we try to find a way to recreate those behavioral responses to marketing, and video is one of the best ways to do that. So thank you guys. Again, go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/standandstretch, and subscribe. The best thing about this is if you haven't participated in one prior, or I'm not sure if you can make ones in the future, if you subscribe to our YouTube page, next time I upload the next one, you'll actually get a, an email that says Lucas has uploaded a new webinar. It's ready for you to go out there and concern yourself with it. So that's easy. I have a couple of questions here, just real quick. Maybe looks like Ken. Okay, let's go with Ken Hoover here. He says, "How about scan codes on for business cards as a place to encourage more engagement?" This is a great question, Ken. I think that my first business card had a QR code on it, and man, I thought I was legit. I'm a QR code king. We soon found out after a year's worth of research and even to today that QR codes, while implemented in marketing, are ancillary. They're not the primary focus. So if you're putting scan codes on anything, you have to make sure that wherever they go, that you are using a tactic to make sure you do something. And let me elaborate. If you have a scan code that allows them to import your contact information, big win. Big win. Scan codes, if I scan the back of your card and it imports all that code into my contact list, I can hand you the card back. We're done. Or maybe you want me to keep it because it's got other marketing material. I don't know. But if you scan that QR code and it takes me to your website that's not mobile, it's not optimized to be viewed on my cool iPhone, and I got to pinch zoom in there to see, and there's the contact button, and I try to hit it, and I accidentally hit the About Us page, and now I got to go back, and so I'm having this horrible experience. You got to think about what that scan code produces as far as interaction for the customer. If you try to put that to encourage them for engagement, you better be ready to explain to them how to use it. And that was the other part. The adoption rate for QR codes fell because, quite frankly, it required more steps to get involved with it. Explaining to the common early adopter that, or what I would say early majority of people to say, hey, in order to use this, you have to download an app, have that conversation with somebody that's not tech savvy. You just spent 20 minutes on a sale that somebody that didn't understand the technology you're using and might not be the best type of client for your business. And that's something we resolved out of that. So, Ken, I hope I answered your question for you. And I have one more question here. I'm having trouble seeing these questions. So give me just a second. Is video useful for rebranding for, say, a name change? I think this is from Kim. Rebranding is such a hard topic. I'm not a branding expert by no means. I think that in a case of if I was looking at a company to shift their brand and to use video to do the explaining, I would say that then it would be an effective marketing opportunity. Some people would just say just change your website and hope for the best. I think in the idea of trying to convert over to a new brand, especially in today's market, there is social equity that cannot be replaced, that brands lose in a rebranding process. The idea of having a brand that's saturated in one thought process to try to make the current people who believe in that thought process, who trust in that business, and then change it, and then try to say, no, we're the same company, we're just better, and that is a tough tough thing. Local companies in Columbus today are in that struggle now, where they've identified with long-term relationships, and they're trying to change it. And I don't think video is helping, but at some point, video helps to convey the message in I think the strongest opportunity possible. Blog post really it would be ancillary. A public relations, a PR release would be, ancillary. I want to see the CEO explaining to me why they're rebranding. Does that make sense? I hope it does. See if we have any more questions here. Okay. Okay, good. Well, guys, thanks. I appreciate your time. Again, we're Stand and Stretch. Go check us out, standandstretch.com. You guys are still here. I see it. Thanks. I appreciate the attendance, and we'll have another one soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye. I just waved at everyone, by the way.